would
Yes.
like to ask verbally. So inshallah, Brother Farooq, if you're online with us, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you so much for your presentation, the lesson today, the session today. I have a question. I wanted to sort of provide some context to my question. I'll ask the question and then I'll give the context. I'm trying to understand the rules around which our nafs, the creation of our nafs survives, or by which we are judged by our nafs surviving here. The context to this question is I recently heard a lecture by a scholar speaking to the idea that just like our heart pumps blood automatically, and just like our lungs breathe automatically, thoughts get generated in our mind automatically. And those thoughts that get generated in our mind automatically have a huge role to play in our nafs. And so the idea is just to be aware of those thoughts that get generated automatically, and then regulate yourself in that regard. I just wanted to get your insights. You had spoken about the rules of our nafs, and sort of to see if there is any basis for any basis that you can share additionally.
Nothing happens in our body automatically. Indeed, our body is constantly being managed by our soul. So, soul is mudabbir for our body. But we don't need to do it consciously. So, I don't need to think about blood circulation. Whether I think or I don't think, I'm sleeping or awake, it's happening. But it's not happening automatically. It happens with a careful management that human soul is doing. And if soul stops managing body, even if body is okay, it's not damaged, but it stops function. But when it comes to the thoughts, again, these thoughts have different origins. Sometimes thoughts are the thoughts that we actively develop. And this is the beauty of contemplation. In contemplation, instead of letting thoughts come and remain and, for example, distract you, you actively bring positive thoughts to your mind. Like, for example, instead of letting unwanted people to come to your home, you invite guests. So you invite guests that you like to be with them. You invite guests that can teach you and help you. So if you think, you bring thoughts. If you don't think, then things that you have been going through during the day or night, or maybe a few days ago, they can be brought to your attention. And sometimes maybe also things come to your attention that you didn't have any clue about them. And here then becomes very complicated. What is the source of those things that come to your mind that you had no clue about them? For example, on a positive note, a poem comes to your mind that you have never thought about. It's a beautiful poem. This is inspiration. Or for example, a philosopher, maybe a very good philosophical proof or idea comes to his mind that he never thought about it. This is inspiration. Or sometimes maybe bad thoughts come. We can also have miscommunication from bad people or from Satan, like Quran says, even Satan's communicate. إن الشياطين ليوحون بعضهم إلى بعض. They also communicate to each other. So maybe they also sometimes try to bring bad thoughts to us, because Shaitan has the power of bringing temptations to us. He cannot control us, but he can put bad thoughts in our mind. And maybe sometimes our nafs, when it is left to itself, starts playing like a child who is put in a room with full of records, and it starts bringing these drawers out and playing with these records. Sometimes our nafs, when it is left free, it starts playing with us by bringing all these things. And this is why it is said, "An-nafsu illam tashqalha shagalatka." If you don't make your nafs busy, nafs will make you busy. It keeps you busy. So there are many different things that can bring thoughts, memories, ideas to our attention. But you have also a way to start controlling and planning. Maybe it's very difficult to stop something coming altogether, but it's up to you how much you want to keep it, how much you want to pay attention to strengthen it, and how much you want to make it frequent. Maybe little by little, even you can gain very good control over your thoughts. But at least you have this much control that when something comes to your mind, just ignore it. Even you should not fight it, because if you fight it, again, it gets strong. You just need to ignore it. Don't pay attention, even if it is negative attention. Just leave it without attention. So, when it comes to soul, it's very, very complicated, and factors that bear on condition of soul are more than one. Even sometimes when someone is praying for you, can have some impact on your soul, or if someone na'udhu is praying against you, if someone is angry with you, if you have done zulm to someone, it can all bear some impact on us. But none of these impacts is that strong that if you want to remain in control of your thinking in a rational way, would be unable. You have the ability to manage in a rational way your decision and your behavior. But it can be in a very clear atmosphere, it can be in a clouded atmosphere, it can be in a troubled atmosphere, it can be in a welcoming atmosphere. Yes, these conditions are there, partly because of us, partly maybe from outside.
Thank you very much, Sheikh. Now, there's a question that is close, not close, but kind of the same category. And the question, and the last question for today is the following. What is the specific role of the 12th Imam in guiding the nafs? How should a believer use the existence of the Imam to his benefit in terms of purifying and refining the soul the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to?
How should a believer?
How should a believer use the existence of the Imam to his or her benefit in terms of purifying and refining the soul the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to?
This is a very, very good question, but very broad. In maybe, I think it was first session of the course on Imama that we had in Istanbul, Hujjat Academy, I talked a little bit about this. Basically, the idea is that Imam Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, has different tasks. But his main task seems to be guidance. His main task is not to, for example, help us with giving shifa or giving rest or giving job or other things. His main task is hidayah. إنما أنت منذر ولكل قوم حاد. This had is Imam. So Imam is Hadi, is a guide. Part of this guidance is through listening to Imam, watching Imam, benefiting from his presence. This part, unfortunately, we don't have it in the time of Ghaibah. We don't have the blessing of seeing Imam, watching Imam. But part of guidance is through inspiration, through prayer, through protection from bad power. So in the time of Ghaibah, we benefit from light of Imam without seeing Imam. So he is the source that because of his connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through him light of guidance is spreading. It's like sun behind the cloud. We don't see him, but we are benefiting from him. And if we are more connected to Imam, more tuned to the will of Imam, we can benefit more. So it's not only Imam is not only a scholar that we benefit from his words or his books or by looking at him, for example. Imam can inspire us even if we don't see him. We can benefit from him in the same way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't see him, but he guides us. Hujjah of Allah also benefits us. The main thing is that how much we are tuned to him, how much we are prepared for receiving this light. I think in time of Ghaibah, especially when there are so many challenges, we are in a very good, inshallah, position to hope that our Imam would help us, would inspire us. But the condition is that you should feel that you are in desperate need for guidance. If me and you think that we know, or we can ask people and we get everything that we want, if we feel that our condition is normal, then there is no need to get something specific and direct from Imam. But if we individually or especially as a community, from top to the bottom, feel that we are mustar, we are in a very desperate situation, and we need guidance, then inshallah we would receive more and more a specific, inshallah, guidance. So Imam is available. He is given the mandate by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide people. The only thing is, this level of guidance cannot be imposed. This level of guidance is something that needs our interest and our search and our invitation, honest invitation. If we have it, inshallah we receive it.
Thank you very much, Sheikh. Now, there's questions, but we are coming close to we're pretty much at 6 o'clock.